Okay, so Jai Hind all. Today I am going to discuss the very important topic of the cloud computing. The subject code is KCS 713 and this topic is related to the unit 1 and this is basically NIST cloud definition framework. And this topic, complete this cloud computing models. So myself is Associate Professor Dr. Santosh Kumar Upadhyay, Associate Professor in Department of CSC, AKGEC, Ghaziabad. This is basically NIST Cloud Definition Framework. Okay. So this is in this framework is defined by the NIST, National Institute of Standard and Technology. And at the top of this definition stack, deployment model are there. And that is the private cloud, community cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. Other is the service model. Okay. So service model means software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Then essential characteristics, as you know, we know that there are the 5 very essential characteristics of the cloud. That is the on-demand self-service, broad network access. There should be broad interconnection facilities, resource pooling, rapid elasticity. Whenever you require, you can scale up, you can scale down the services and the computing powers. Measured service, each and every services is provided at the dynamic rate, means pay per use. You have to pay for that amount of time, what time you are using the services. Then these are the common characteristics of this particular cloud computing, like massive scale is there, homogeneity, resilient computing. Okay, this is the graphic distribution, because the particular user, means consumer, may be at a large geographical area that are distributed. Okay, data center may be some other country at other distant geographical area. Service orientation, advanced security, virtualization, low cost software. So we focus here this private means a deployment model and the service model. These both collectively known as cloud computing models. So these cloud computing models have the 2 models, as you know, the cloud service model and cloud development and deployment model. When we talk about the cloud service model, then we know that there are the 3 types of services: cloud software as a service, SaaS. The use providers applications over the network. User does not manage or control the network, server, operating system, storage, or application, with this possible exception of limited user application or configuration setting. That means, as we know that you are using the SaaS, software as a service, that means you have very limited control on the application. Basically, you can configure the services, but you cannot manage, you cannot control. Okay, so this SaaS have the very limited control of the consumer. All control is over the provider. Other is the cloud platform as a service, that is known as the PaaS. First one is the SaaS, second one is the PaaS, platform as a service. So users deploy their applications on a cloud. User control their applications. The consumer does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure, network, server, operating systems, storage, but the consumer has control over the deployed applications and the possibly application hosting environment configuration. So if you are platform as a service, you have platform as a service, that means now you have the control over the applications. Okay, you have the control over the hosting of the applications, but you have no control on the infrastructure or hardware kind of resources like network, storage, CPU, Okay, so this infrastructure cannot be controlled by you. Some application can be. The application can be controlled by you. But in SaaS, nothing is in our control. Very limited control like configuration of applications may be there for you as a consumer. Cloud service model, third model is the cloud infrastructure as a service model, IaaS. So here, rent processing, storage, network capacity, and other fundamental computing resources are provided in terms of infrastructure as a service. Means how all hardware kind of resources are provided in this IaaS. Consumer gets access to the infrastructure to deploy their stuff. Don't manage or control the infrastructure. Do manage or control the operating system, storage, application, selected network component. So this to be considered cloud, they must be deployed on the top of cloud infrastructure that has the key characteristics. So this infrastructure as a service have all hardware kind of resources there. Service model architecture. So here we can see that software as a service or the SaaS model. Okay. So SaaS is there and SaaS is deployed on the PaaS and PaaS work on the IaaS. In platform as a service, as a platform, as a service user, okay, this PaaS is run on the infrastructure as a service. Okay, and infrastructure as a service means there is only infrastructure as a service you have. This is the control of consumer is shown in this particular figure. In traditional IT, when we talk about a traditional IT, information technology, then we can see that application, data, runtime, middleware, operating system means all. Either that is platform kind of resources or application kind of resources or the infrastructure kind of resources. So application kind of resources here. In traditional IT, we can see that application kind of resources, data kind of resources, runtime kind of resources means each and every kind of resources are managed by the consumer itself. Okay. But in the cloud, this is the cloud environment. So in cloud, we can see that infrastructure as a service, you can manage this application, data, runtime and middleware. Like means platform can also be managed by you. But this hardware kind of things you cannot manage. This is delivered as a service to you. And this can only be managed and controlled by the provider. Similarly, in platform kind of service, this application and data you can manage. But other middleware as well as the hardware can only be managed and controlled by the cloud provider. As a SaaS user, you can see here, everything is delivered in terms of services, in terms of web services. So, there is no control of the consumer on any of these particular resources. If we talk about the vendor, the major vendor of SaaS is the Google Apps Engine, Salesforce. Major vendor of the PaaS is the Google App Engine, Windows Azure, Force.com, but not limited. Okay, there are a number of vendors are there. When we talk about the infrastructure as a service, so this is the AWS services are there, Google App Engine, Windows Azure. All these are the vendor who work in the field of infrastructure as a service. Now the cloud deployment model. When we talk about the cloud deployment model, so certainly we have these four kind of deployment. We can deploy our service provider can deploy the services for the consumer in form of four kind of categories. Like private cloud. If you want, as a consumer, you want more secure cloud, then you should go for the private cloud. So that is for single organization only, that is used by the single organization, managed by the organization or maybe by the third party that is hired by the organization, that may reside on campus or off campus also. Then there is the community cloud. Community cloud means this is the kind of cloud, the services that is targeted to a group of users who are the same kind of interest or same kind of working style, working domain. Okay, like enterprise resource planning. That means ERP kind of software can be developed for a number of organizations who are using on the same kind of platform. Public cloud. This is the more general cloud facility sold to the public, mega scale infrastructure, and this is available to the general public. Okay, so like we are using the Gmail services, Google Meet, classes, Google Drive, all these are number of their services that are provided by the different kind of vendor, and that is the public, that is provided to the public network, and that is not so secure as the private. Hybrid cloud. Certainly the private cloud have the more cost than the public cloud. Public cloud is economical. Okay, so hybrid cloud, if you have some kind of application that is more sensitive, more critical, then you should go for that kind of particular data for the private cloud, and other more general kind of data and application can run by using the services by the public cloud. So you can match the cost as well as the security parameter also by using the hybrid cloud. This is the composition of two or more clouds bound by standard or proprietary technologies. These services are both kind of cloud are combined by the proprietary technologies. Private cloud, we can see here the cloud infrastructure built in-house retains control of the resources. That means consumer have the much control to the services, to the resources, more security and privacy, can conform to the regulatory requirement, needs capital investment, that certainly that is costly in comparison of other cloud, and needs expertise to build and maintain. So private cloud, that is and then the advantage of private cloud, extensively security option and capabilities, availability to the internal network, and the increased access and communication for the internal use, can grow with the business and expanded or change as the need. Disadvantage, significant level of engagement are required, significant investment are required, does not deliver the short-term solutions. That means given the requirement time needed to build it out. That means you have to well-define functionalities and your use, need, demand. On the basis of that is designed and to deploy for you. Example of private cloud like HPE. You have heard the name Hewlett Packard Enterprise, VMware, Dell, Oracle. Okay, so all these IBM, Microsoft, all these are the vendors who are providing the cloud, private cloud. Public cloud, that is available to everyone. Anyone can go and you sign up for the service like Gmail. Economies of scale due to the size. Some public clouds concern our ownership, control, regulatory compliance, data application, liability of SLA breaches. And these are the advantages. Increased network efficiency are there, reduced complexity, and this is cheap in comparison of other cloud. Ready to go applications, that means whenever you require new applications, new services, that will be readily available for you. Okay, the demand of business. Disadvantage, fewer option for customization, substantially less secure, fixed architecture that cannot grow with the need of the business. Example of public cloud vendor: Google Cloud Engine, Salesforce, Amazon AWS, Microsoft Office 365. Now, this is the hybrid cloud, means this is the combination of both. Okay. And the advantage, hybrid clouds, computing enable an enterprise to deploy an on-premises private cloud to host sensitive data or critical data, and a third-party public cloud to provide other common data or application or the less critical resources. Netflix, Hulu, Uber, and Airbnb all are providing the hybrid type of cloud facilities. Advantage, best of both are achieved here. Added accessibility for internal and external users. Security parameters are higher than the public cloud. Disadvantage, inherent inefficiency of monitoring several different security platforms. Customization of rules and policies to govern security and the elements of the infrastructure. Added security risk. एग्जाम्पल की बात करें अगर हम तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट जियो स्टैक, AWS आउटपोस्ट, गूगल क्लाउड एंथोस, Oracle Cloud at customer, all these are the vendors who are engaging themselves in the hybrid cloud. Community cloud that are provided for a particular community. Okay. So community cloud refer to a shared cloud computing services environment that is targeted to a limited set of organizations or employees such as banks, head of trading firms. The same kind of application are going on, or the same working culture or domain are there. So for that type of application and requirement, this community cloud is preferred. Okay. Organizations having similar computing concern and have shared interest can share it. This type of cloud computing is best compatible with ventures, business organization, research organization. The benefit of this is the community cloud to know and analyze the business demand first. Advantage, flexibility, scalability, availability and reliability, security, compliance, control of the privacy. And if you talk about the disadvantage, complex environment is there. Security is only as good as your IT staff know or knowledge is there. You support yourself. Okay. Remote access may be limited. Increase IT staff. So all these are the advantages and disadvantages of this model. And the example of this, basically this is the community cloud vendor. Google Go Cloud, Salesforce Community Cloud. Okay, these are the example of the community cloud. Common. So these are basically this particular. So in this lecture, we can conclude like this, that we have discussed two type of model. One is the service model and other is the cloud deployment model. Okay, so Jai Hind all.